Michael is a con man and gambler. Once he discovered that there are people with supernatural powers, he decides to use them to his advantage. The movie opens with Michael working in a casino. He was a con artist who had been working at the casino for a few months so that he could explore the casino during the day and prepare to win. While at night, he would change his look by wearing wigs and makeup to gamble. One day, Michael pretends to be cleaning equipment when he swaps normal dice at the casino table with magnetic dice that he could control. Then, when one of the workers at the casino was transporting a cart containing all the poker cards and gets on the elevator, Michael joins him. He controls the elevator and shuts off the lights inside. He then replaces all the cards with his special ones that would allow him to see other people's cards through special glasses. With this, he was ready to gamble for the night. Later that night, he goes to the casino and heads toward the VIP table where he had swapped the dice. Feeling confident about winning, he takes a seat. Just then, they're joined by a man named Alexander, who bets all of his chips, making Michael happy, since he knew that he would be winning the game. As the game begins, Michael notices that the cards in his hands suddenly change. Feeling confused, he plays according to those cards, which causes him to lose the game. Once the game is over, Michael seeks out Alex because he knows that Alex had used some sort of trick to win. He is interrupted by a few men who pull Michael away. It is then revealed that Alex has been playing tricks on Michael's brain that caused him to view everyone as Alex. He was also responsible for changing the cards in his hands. Michael is then taken to a storage room by the casino's owner, Victor, who had found out that he was using tricks to win money, causing Victor to lose money in return. He threatens Michael and gives him a deadline of 1 week to return his money. Michael goes to his friend and explains to him the strange things that have been happening to him. His friend tells him that some people were given powers when they were born, and that Alex probably had the same powers as well. He pulls out a book and tells him that there is an alternate universe that gives people these powers. The scene changes to Michael's father, Gordon, who is meeting with Alex. It turns out that he was responsible for Alex defeating Michael in poker. Alex gives Gordon all the money that he had won at the casino. He then pulls out a compass that would lead people to a supernatural world. The compass would also help people in escaping from the world. Meanwhile, Michael, with the help of his friend, begins to create a team with people who had supernatural powers. The first person that he recruits is Eric, who has the power of telekinesis. Eric could control dice to move in any way that he wanted. The second person he recruits is Tony, a taxi driver, who had the power to control any electronics that he wanted. He could control the camera in the casino to move according to his will. The next person is Kevin, who was a hypnotist and could insert anyone's thoughts into people's minds. The last person that he recruited was a woman named Veronica. She was a telepath and could listen to other people's thoughts. She could also transmit them to other people. Her superpower allowed Michael to communicate with his team during poker. The scene then changes to Gordon, Michael's father, trying to steal a high-value painting with the help of his friend, who has the power of hypnosis. His friend sends Gordon to the subconscious world, which allows him to hypnotize anybody that he wants. He hypnotizes a painter and makes him recreate the painting that he was about to steal. He then hypnotizes a security guard and makes him exchange the fake painting with the original one without anyone noticing it. He then buys the painting from the painter at a cheap price. After he leaves with the painting, everyone regains their senses, but they don't remember what happened to them. Meanwhile, Michael gathers with his team in the city center and introduces Veronica to the rest of the team. He instructs her to first make Eric ring a bell. She enters her subconscious world and makes Eric ring a large bell. Michael then tells her in his head to make Tony cause all the electronics to short-circuit around them. Soon, all the wires and electronic devices begin to short-circuit. She then makes everyone in the street fear that an earthquake is coming, which causes panic, and soon the street is empty. Michael then briefs the team on his plan and tells them that they will go to the casino, where everyone will deliberately lose their games so that Michael can get the highest bets and win more money. Everything was going according to plan, and Michael wins his game with the help of his team, who manipulate the dice and people's minds to favor him. However, Eric and Tony are unable to bear their losses, and they start manipulating things to win their last few bets. The security guards then take Tony and Eric away for cheating to win, but Veronica manages to save them. Michael then warns them and tells them that they need to act according to the plan so that they can win large amounts of money. He then bets all of his money in his last game and manages to win $10 million. Later that night, the team starts celebrating their win, but Veronica does not join them. Michael tries to talk to her, but the two of them end up arguing, and he leaves her alone. In the next scene, Alex meets with Gordon for dinner and informs him that Michael has a team of his own that he has been using to win games at different casinos. Gordon is surprised to hear that and reveals that he wanted Michael to join his team, not create one of his own. The next morning, Michael and his team were going somewhere when their car is cornered by black SUVs. Victor gets out and greets Michael. This time, however, Michael was prepared to pay Victor back the money that he owed him. But Victor tells him that he knows about his team that has superpowers. He was no longer interested in getting paid back, but rather he wanted Michael's team. He then takes Michael to a cliff where he was planning on killing him. Michael finds out from Victor that his father was responsible for his loss to Alex. It is revealed that Michael hated his father because when he needed him in his life, he was not available. His team is then taken back to Victor's casino, where they begin working for Victor. Victor makes them manipulate his customers so that they never win, and as a result, he gets to keep large amounts of money. One evening, when the team returns to their rooms, they find that a plumber is fixing something in their bathroom. When the plumber turns his face, it turns out to be Michael, who is in a disguise. He tells his team that he is there to rescue them. He also tells them that he wants to teach Victor a lesson by stealing from his safe. He then notices that Veronica is not with them. When he asks his team about her, they tell him that she thought he had been killed by Victor and could not bear the loss. This is why she had become trapped inside of her subconscious mind, and her real body had gone into a coma. Michael assures them he will save everyone. That night, they begin to execute Michael's plan. When the shift starts at the casino, everyone refuses to work for Victor, who then asks his security to lock Michael's team in the basement. Michael had disguised himself as a bodyguard, and because he knew Victor's casino's weakness, he manages to free his team members. Michael then leaves to rescue Veronica, while Tony, Kevin, and Eric move toward the safe. They come across lasers, which they had to cross to get to the safe. Tony tries to deactivate them, but is unable to turn all of them off. Meanwhile, Michael manages to rescue an unconscious Veronica and reaches the safe, where he meets with the rest of the team, who had managed to carefully crawl away from the lasers. They lock themselves in the safe just before security reaches them. They are then stuck inside the safe, and the only person who could save them was Veronica. Michael asks Kevin to send him into Veronica's subconscious mind so he can rescue her. Despite Kevin's warnings, Michael goes into her mind. He reaches a maze-like space with multiple doors. He starts walking when he notices that a storm is heading his way. Just before he gets hit, everything freezes and the ground starts to split open. And slowly, a city starts to emerge. He walks into the city and finds Veronica there. But she is trapped in a shield-like space and cannot see or hear him. He begins to concentrate, and the world around him turns dark. He starts to call out for Veronica, who can now hear him. But she has given up hope and tells him she does not want to return to the real world because there is no one waiting for her. Michael assures her that he is alive and that he will stay with her. She finally agrees, and the two of them return to the maze-like area. Veronica finds a door back to the real world, but she is the only one who can escape. She wakes up in the real world, but this time, Michael is trapped. Michael then recalls that his father had given him a compass and had told him that Alex would help him. He then notices Alex and follows him. The two of them are transported back to the moment when his team is taken away by Victor. Alex tells him that humans have the power to control anything if they truly believe in it. Michael begins to concentrate, and suddenly he wakes up in the real world. This time, he knows what to do. He opens the safe's door and everyone notices that all the guards are gone. It is then revealed that when Michael was in the subconscious mind, he had gone into a room that contained Victor's weaknesses, and he had hypnotized Victor to believe that Michael and his team had already escaped, which is why he sends all of his men outside to look for them. Everyone then walks freely from the safe. The scene changes to Michael giving Alex the money, and he gives them a new task. The movie ends with Michael continuing to work with his father. If you enjoyed this movie recap, make sure to hit the like button. And if you want to see more of these, subscribe to the channel and check out our other videos.